by quill and charm, my medieval darlings. Welcome to Queen's Court Gossip, where scepters are snatched, thrones are toppled, and every royal feast hides a plot. I'm your silver-tongued chronicler, dishing dirt so spicy it could burn a cathedral. Grab your mead, tighten your doublets, and settle in for the hottest tea in England, straight from the court of King Henry IV, the man who stole the crown and paid in shadows. Born in 1367 at Bolingbroke Castle, Henry of Lancaster, our leading man, was no ordinary noble. Son of John of Gaunt, the richest duke in England, and grandson of Edward III, Henry was born with a silver spoon and a chip on his shoulder. Tall, handsome, with a jouster's swagger and a politician's cunning. He was the kind of lord who could charm a nun or outwit a snake. But his story isn't just a rise to glory. It's a scandal-soaked saga of betrayal, rebellion, and a crown that came with a curse. It's 1398, and England's under the rule of Richard II, a king with a flair for drama and a knack for making enemies. Henry, then just Henry Bolingbroke, is a rising star in court, cousin to the king, heir to the Lancasters' vast wealth, and a knight who could tilt with the best. But Richard, paranoid and petty, smells a threat. When Henry picks a fight with another noble, Thomas Mowbray, over some spicy court gossip, treason anyone, Richard banishes them both. Henry sent packing to France, his lands frozen, his title dangling by a thread. Rude. Then, in 1399, the plot thickens. His father, John of Gaunt, dies, and Richard seizes the Lancaster estates, leaving Henry penniless. Big mistake. Huge. Henry, with a fire in his belly and a mercenary army at his back, sails for England, claiming he's just there to reclaim his inheritance, the Duchy of Lancaster. But the court's whispering a different tale. Henry wants the crown. Richard, caught off guard, surrenders like a lamb. And by September 1399, Henry's crowned King Henry IV, the first king of the House of Lancaster, the first usurper king. The tea, scalding. Chroniclers are gagged. One monk scribbles that Henry's coronation was less a crowning and more a theft. The nobles, split like a bad seam, either cheer or sharpen their daggers, and Richard locked away in Pontefract Castle. He's dead by 1400, officially of starvation, but the streets buzz with darker whispers. Prison? A pillow over the face? A dagger in the dark? No one's spilling, but Henry's hands don't look that clean. And the court? They're side-eyeing their new king, wondering if he's cursed for stealing a throne. Being a king isn't all feast and fanfare, and Henry learns that the hard way. The crown sits heavy, and the rebellion's brewing faster than ale in a tavern. The Welsh, led by Owain Glyndwr, rise up, calling Henry a usurper and waving Richard's banner. Is he really dead? The Percy family, those northern hotshots who helped Henry seize the throne, turn on him like scorned lovers. Harry Hotspur Percy, the poster boy for knightly swagger, leads a revolt in 1403, and it's messy. The Battle of Shrewsbury sees Hotspur cut down, his head later spiked on York's gates. Savage. But the gossip? Oh, that's juicier than a royal banquet. Some say Henry's plagued by guilt, haunted by Richard's ghost. Others whisper he's got a divine curse, leprosy no less. By the 1400s his health is failing, his face marked. Was it a disease, or just stress from dodging daggers? One chronicler swears Henry collapsed at a shrine, muttering about betrayal, and the court's buzzing about his son, young Prince Hal, a wild boy who'd rather drink with rogues than rule. Is this the heir to Lancaster's legacy? The tabloids would have a field day. Henry's not just fighting rebels. He's got his eyes on France, dreaming of Edward III's glory days. He flirts with alliances, sends envoys, but his coffers are emptier than a jester's promise. Parliament's clutching their pearls, muttering about taxes, and the nobles are grumbling louder than a storm. Henry's charm keeps them in line, but only just. One spicy rumor claims he pawned his own jewels to fund wars. A king in debt? The scandal. And then there's his marriage to Joan of Navarre, Richard II's widow. Talk about messy optics. The court's whispering. Is Henry cozying up to Navarre for cash, or just to rub salt in Richard's ghostly wound? Joan's no wallflower. She's got her own lands and a knack for survival. But some call her a witch, stirring potions in secret. True? Probably not, but it's the kind of gossip that sticks like mud on a velvet cloak. By 1413, Henry's a shadow of his jousting days, sick, weary, and surrounded by plotting lords. He's fighting to keep a crown on his head and his son in line. Prince Hal's starting to shape up, but the court's betting on whether he'll outshine or outsin his father. Henry dies at 45 in Westminster's Jerusalem chamber. Some saying he whispered, "God knows by what right I took this crown." Henry IV, the usurper king, gave us the Lancaster dynasty, but at what cost? His reign was a tightrope walk over a pit of rebels, debts, and divine judgment. Chroniclers call him a pragmatic ruler. The streets call him a thief who paid in blood. And that curse? Some say it lingered, haunting his son Henry V's victories and the chaos that followed. So what's the verdict on Henry IV? A cunning knight who snatched the throne, or a cursed king who bit off more than he could chew? Did he really order Richard's death, or was it just convenient timing? And what's with the leprosy rumor? Was it God's wrath, or medieval word on the street? One thing for sure, Henry IV turned England's court into a cauldron of conspiracy. And we're sipping the tea. Was Henry a hero or a villain? Did Richard's ghost really haunt him, or was it just guilt? And how did Joan of Navarre handle those witchy rumors? Send us your juiciest gossip at longlivethequeenpodcast@gmail.com. Slide into our DMs at Long Live the Queen Podcast on Facebook or Instagram, or join the Real Court on Patreon, where there's so many bonus episodes. So many. Keep you busy for a very long time. I'll see you in a few weeks for more gossip, or if you're on Patreon, it's every week, and you already know that. Long live to all the queens, and until next time, bye.